I'm Sarah.
I'm Anna.
I'm Alissa.
I'm Heather.
And we are the Kipling Recycling Committee. We're super excited to welcome you to this new program this year, and we thank you for volunteering your time to help our students recycle and compost in the lunchroom. In this short video, we'd like to provide you with some tips to make your volunteer experience fun and easy.
We will be having two recycling stations, one on this side of the room and the other one on the other side of the NPR. And you will be responsible in educating the children how to recycle, where to put which items, and just getting them more familiar with recycling. You will start out with the composting side first, then you'll move on to recycling, and then the final stop will be the trash for all the other miscellaneous items. As a side note, the compost is not going to go into effect until October 1st, so until then you'll be only doing recycling and trash.
You will also see two bins at each station labeled TerraCycle. Please have the students empty the contents of their pouches into the gooey container and replace the lids and the straws back into their pouches. Have them put their pouches in the respective container, and at the end of the day, if you can take their containers to the kitchen and put them in the respective bins, we will collect them every 2 weeks and ship them out to TerraCycle to be recycled and reused.
It's important we allow the students to handle their own food and recyclable items so they begin to understand this process. You are not required to touch food or any trash, although we do have non-latex gloves available if you'd like to wear them.
In addition, when you will be having kids come up with water contained bottles or juice boxes or milk containers, please make sure they dump all the liquid into the liquid bucket and then put it in the respectable container.
Now we will go through a few quick tips to help you recognize some familiar lunch items, which will be composted, recycled, or simply placed in the trash.
Hi guys, I'm going to talk to you about our composting program today. As we discussed earlier, the program will not start until October of this year, but we wanted to share with you the reasons why we're doing the program at Kipling. Food scraps and dirty napkins make up 45% of cafeteria waste and can be composted. A school of 600 students generates about 225 pounds of food waste each week, and we can use it for composting. By composting, we will reduce landfill waste, help slow climate change, and teach students to be better environmental citizens. The main things that we are going to be composting is food. So it can be all food that kids eat in the cafeteria. For example, if a kid has mac and cheese in a container, what you'll do is dump out the food portion, the mac and cheese, and then throw out the dirty containers into the trash cans. Paper products that can be recycled are paper towels can go in, students' napkins can go in, and wax paper. When the kids have potbellies, per se, for lunch, they're going to come up with their half-eaten sandwiches, and you can put the paper that is covered, the potbelly sandwich and the sandwich all in the compost bin. Fruit can be composted. They just ask that you remove the stickers from the fruit before throwing it in the bin. Any dirty paper products such as the wax paper and potbellies or Subway bags can all go into the compost bin. Non-coated paper plates can also go into the compost bin. Another main food product that will be in the cafeteria are pizza boxes. The greasy part of a pizza box is going to be put into the compost bin. So for example, on Piero's Pizza Day, the kids will have a pizza box. What we would like to try to do is rip apart the greasy part of the pizza box versus the clean part of the pizza box. The greasy part of the pizza box can go into the compost bin, while the clean part of the pizza box should be recycled. There are going to be a lot of pizza boxes on these days, so we'll have a special container for the compostable greasy pizza boxes. Another important point to keep in mind for composting is no liquid should go in the compost bin. So no soups, no juice, no milk, no ice cream or yogurt or anything that could possibly become a liquid should go into the compost bin. but hot dogs, pizza, hamburgers, dirty lunch bags should all be put in the compost.
Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you about recycling. So I'm going to touch back on a few things that Alissa mentioned about making sure that you only put in clean items into recycling. Any food scraps or dirty items could contaminate the entire batch of the recycling materials, and instead of going to recycling, it ends up going to the landfill. So what we want to make sure is if you have a container, it's got to be clean, and if it's dirty, either have the kids dump out the food waste into the compost bin, and then as long as it looks more or less clean, you can put it into the recycling. You can put in any clean paper products, unused lunch bags, or unused napkins. As if it's used, it has to go into composting. If it's clean, it can go into recycling. Any kind of clean plastic containers that have the triangle on them. For the most part, we're recycling any symbols 1 through 7, which is the majority of the plastic containers. If you're going to have a soda can, please make sure the kids dump it out into the liquid container first, and then once it's empty, you can put it into the recycling. If you have something from a chip or something with a dip, as long as it's clean, it can go in recycling. If it's dirty or goopy, it has to go into trash. Same thing with yogurt containers. If they're completely clean, it can go into recycling. Otherwise, if there's any food scrap in there, it has to go into trash. Foil, as long as there's no food waste, or if you make the kids put it into compost, it can then go into recycling once it's clean. Pizza boxes. As Alissa mentioned, this pizza box is clean, so we can use that for recycling. But in order to save space, we need to make sure that we tear the boxes apart so that we're not clogging up the trash cans for the recycling. So just break them apart as much as you can, or have the kids do that themselves and then put it into recycling.
Hi guys, I'd like to talk to you about the trash, the last and final stop in our recycling center. The plan is hopefully to have as few items as possible in your lunch bag, from the student's lunch bag when they get to this stop. So some common things that you're going to see in the lunchroom for trash, we all are familiar with a lot of trash items, but there's some that I want to talk to you about, including these chip bags. We didn't know this, but the contents of these chip bags can be composted. So before you dump these in the trash, please go on to the compost bin, dump your items, and then place the bags in the trash. Some other items that you're going to see in the lunchroom are plastic utensils. These are always trash, not recyclable, which could be confusing at first, but is not. It's always trash. Some other items, flimsy plastic tops. These types of snack containers, the flimsy plastic tops are always trash. The bottoms can't be recycled as long as there is a triangle on the bottom. Ziploc baggies, you'll see many of these. These are definitely trash. Plastic cups like this are typically recycled, but here because we cannot rinse them and they're typically goopy, we will be using the trash can for these. Any paper plates with plastic coating. As Alissa mentioned, the paper plates with non-plastic coating can be composted, but these will be put in trash and made plastic coating, always. These friendly bags that you see around, these are always going to go in the trash now. And you'll see a lot of these snack containers with foil tops. Please know that the foil tops can be recycled, but these bottoms will have to go in the trash because they contain very goopy material, which we can't rinse or do anything with, so we'll be